Okay, traders, back by popular demand. I can't let over 2,000 YouTube followers sit with no YouTubes because we can't get a download on a green screen. But anyways, look, let's catch up to date real quick. As you know, I talked about the June quad wedge, and I thought that we would get past the June quad wedge. And then I warned you that, as we got closer and closer to the second quarter rebalance, that the markets would get weak. Now, what's going on here is the markets are weak going into the weekend because there's no Greek resolution. They really are burning the midnight oil. But that said, we're now what we're looking at is we go into the end of the quarters, we're looking at T+3, and we're looking at the June quarterly rebalance. Then next week we go into the shortened week and we go into the July holiday. Now it's my idea that the S&P kind of remains a little weak here as we go into the weekend and go into the end of the quarter. I don't think the Greeks are going to add any kind of positives to any of this. And then what will happen is as people start to filter out going into the middle of next week to take a long holiday, the volumes are going to drop significantly. And that's when I think the markets will start to bounce back up a little bit. So, I think the main concern here, as I talked to the Pitbull throughout the day, was he pointed out one thing, and not a lot of people are talking about this. But Terry Laundrie, one of his favorite guys that he likes to follow, who made something called the Magic T, a lot of his work has been negative, and the Pitbull's been showing me this stuff. And one of Laundrie's big thing is that that the Dow transports are an important part of the whole makeup of the stock market, and they're down 10%. So you know what? I don't know if you can just shake this one off like all the other stuff. I think there is a lot of liquidation going on in the stock market, but at the same time, that doesn't seem to be affecting the S&P all that much. Can this change over a long haul or over the future? Yeah, but you know what? I'm not in that camp where I think they're going to rate hikes anytime soon. I don't think they do it at all this year, and I've stayed on that stance. I think in the first quarter of 2016 is where they're going to be looking at. In addition, I think once we get past this Greek stuff, I think the S&Ps are going to start heading back higher. And again, I think that the S&P will close up toward 22 even toward the end of the year. I'm not going to say that the S&P can't go down a little bit once there's some type of resolution to the Greek situation, but once that's out of the way, I think we're into a clear sailing thing. Now, the other part about this is I want to remind everybody. The Pitbull has told me many times that the main weakness comes in the stock market in the last week of July and into the third week of August. So these are our warnings, our warning weeks. We're not there yet right now. I still don't think there's any major flunkadunk coming, but you know what? We'll have to see how that plays out. As far as total volume here, we had 1.2 million minis traded, and the MOC came out. The MIM started out small to buy, moved to the small to sell side, was showing like 560 million to sell, and the actual MOC came out sell 1.2 billion. I'm pretty sure that was part of the overlay of the Russell rebalance. But and again, I want to point one thing out on the Russell rebalance: 53 billion in stocks changed hands in the final seconds of the day here. So you know what? I think people are a little too short going into it, and that's why the futures popped up a little bit going into the cash close. We'll leave it like that. We'll see you guys next week.